What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jorge and today I have 3 nifty home decor ideas that I did using thrifted items. Now I believe less is more, so we're going to keep these simple, we're going to keep these affordable, and we're going to keep these timeless. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for this first project, we're going to tackle on a wooden bowl. Now I feel like these are everywhere at thrift stores. You probably have one at home that you're not in love with. So I'm going to show you how you can take a bowl and really make it distressed and feel vintage. I found this bowl, it's very orange. I think it's a salad bowl and it's not it anymore. So we're going to transform it. So let's get into it. Like I said before, this orange bowl was likely a salad bowl, but salad no more because we're going to make this look into a bowl that looks vintage and high end. Now I believe this cost me $6.99 and I believe for something this size is quite nice. I began by sanding this down with rough sandpaper. 80 grit sandpaper was perfect to start off because it easily removes the varnish or the existing finish. Now let me tell you something, this is definitely a workout. If you do this, I definitely recommend you break this up into a couple of different sanding sessions because your arm will be tired. But hey, you'll get those gains. Now let's take a moment and appreciate this sanding because let me tell you, it looks so much better. Once I sanded it all down, of course I was left with the bare raw wood. I could have chosen to left this, but to be honest, I want a little bit of a brown tone to it. Now the problem with this is that whenever you apply any finish to a natural wood, I'm not sure what wood species this is, it would basically turn yellow. So I'm going to apply a couple of stains on this. I always like to use pre-stain because this prevents the stain from being splotchy, and then of course I applied it inside and out. For this stain, I mixed a whole bunch of crap together and it worked. Let me show you what I did. I mixed together Simply White and Weathered Oak. I don't think the brand really matters. I would say I mixed about equal parts. I also added equal parts of polyurethane just to get stain and finish in one step. I don't know if this is allowed or not, but it worked for me, so give it a try if you dare. I applied using a lint-free rag, basically a cut-up t-shirt, and as I applied this you can see how all of that red and yellow tones is really being knocked out with this mixture. I really like how it's starting to take a whitewashed finish, but don't worry, this is not going to be it. I let the wood absorb that mixture for a couple of minutes and then I applied dark walnut. And this stain basically adds a little bit of the warm color back in there. It makes it a little bit darker. It makes it feel primitive, more antique. And this honestly was pretty much it. I let this dry fully before applying a final coat of polyurethane. So let's take a look at the final result. Now artwork I feel like is something thrift stores have an abundance of and it's quite affordable. Doing your own artwork is pretty easy to do and I'm going to show you one technique that you could probably do this to any piece of artwork. Trust me, if you're not a DIYer, you can do this. I found this frame for 99 cents. I think it was an old photo frame. The photo seems to be fading and of course that is not our style, so let's get into it. As I said, I found this photo print for just $1, so if this DIY goes wrong, that's alright, it's just $1. I will be keeping the frame and mat board as is, so I'm just going to tape around and protect those. I want to have some fun, so I'm also going to put some tape near the bottom of the photo, about 3/4 of the way down. This will create a little bit of contrast, which you will see here in a minute. There are so many ways to add texture, including caulking. I'm using this one from Dollar Tree. Yes, Dollar Tree, and this is paintable too. I'm applying it all over the photo. Really just making a mess. Have fun. This is no big deal. Meet my friend Putty Knife. Putty Knife is amazing because it will help spread the caulking all the way across and start to create some texture. It almost looks like plaster. I felt like I needed more texture, so I applied more caulking and spread it around with the putty knife. To get even more delicious texture, I'm taking a garbage bag. That's right, a garbage bag. I'm placing it right on the caulking, tapping it down, scratching it up, doing all sorts of crazy things to it, and really getting into it. Now, doesn't that look yummy? I think so. So I took the plastic off immediately and just let it do its own thing. The caulking takes about 2 to 4 hours to dry before being paintable. That's exactly what I did. And I also cleaned up the edges just to make it look cleaner. I also removed the tape that partitions the lower half. Now that that is dry, it's time for some painting. I'm keeping it simple and leaving it white. I'm also adding a little bit of this khaki brown just to give it a little bit of warmth. And I'm painting the entire thing the same color. Once that dried, I realized that that contrast that I was envisioning for the lower half was just not there, so I added a little bit of this dark brown to the white, and I carefully painted that lower portion. As you can see here, it starts to create a little bit more dimension, and I think it looks much better. Of course, I let that fully dry. I could have applied acrylic sealer, but I didn't have any on hand, so I removed the tape. Now let's take a look at the final look. Furniture is fantastic because not only does it come affordable, but you can easily transform them. So I found this oval coffee table. At first I saw it and I really wasn't into it, although it did catch my attention. I think it was the design. The tabletop was already painted, so it looks like another DIYer got their hands on it. I did not pick it up. 1 week later, I went into the thrift store, I found it, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna adopt you, and I brought it home with me, and let me show you an easy way that you can upcycle a coffee table or any furniture. As you can see, this table has some pretty great bones. It just needs a little bit of love. The first step is to address that tabletop. Now, I sanded this down just to see the extent of this previous paint job, and I concluded that I'm going to paint the top. I wish I could just sand it all the way down and leave the natural wood, but I'm just not going to do that. Hey, this table is splendid, and I think the base is worth keeping as is. I'm actually going to refinish it, and I discovered an easy way that I think you're going to love and try for yourself. It does not require any sanding, but I'm sanding here lightly because hey, I guess I love sanding. Okay, so it's the next day and I've sort of thought about this, and a couple things have gone through my mind as to what I want to do with this table now. And I think what I want to do is definitely paint the top. And I was kind of debating on painting the frame or not of the table, but now I'm thinking I'm going to basically refinish it with, so I'm just going to use regular stain and stain over this, and hopefully it'll look really nice. This is kind of a trial and error sort of thing, so let's just see what happens. One of my favorite dark stains is Dark Ebony by Minwax, and I'm applying this to the existing wood, and it's basically making this look restored and new again. How satisfying is this? I lightly sanded this as you saw previously, but it really was not required. It's basically like magic. I'm obsessed and I will be definitely using this again and again. Let's just take a moment and appreciate how satisfying it is to watch this transformation occur like magic. Such an easy way to restore dark furniture. Once the stain was applied, my attention was focused towards the tabletop. I applied one coat of primer just to get better coverage of paint and a longer lasting finish. Now can you guess what color I went with for the top? You guessed it, black. Black pairs really well with the dark ebony in my opinion, and I think it makes the table feel a little bit elegant and classic and very transitional. Let me know down below what color you would have painted this tabletop. After seeing the black tabletop, I decided to add another coat of the dark ebony stain to the base. This helps tie in the tabletop better, and I think it makes the table feel more cohesive. My best friend, polyacrylic, was used to protect the stain and paint finish. I think it looks a little bit blue when it's applied, but once it dries, it definitely turns clear. Very impressed with this matte finish. Of course, I'm going to link everything I used down in the description below for your reference. So let's take a look at how this table turned out. Alright, so that was today's video. Comment down below, let me know which item was your favorite. I'm very obsessed with that bowl. It really looks vintage and expensive. I want to thank you so much for watching. Check out these other Thriftlet videos if you want to see more, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye!